Do 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 do. All right, AOA podcast. How about this live setup from one of the most gorgeous? Have you ever seen a pillar so beautiful and so gorgeous than the gray pillar that is behind me? Um, let's rank beige pillars. Rank this one to 1,500, please, and let me know in the comments below. Listen, we are doing a live setup here. I'm on vacation. I'm literally in the backyard of my parents' home in Florida. I hope this sounds okay. I hope you can hear me. Little feedback in the comments would be great. Let me know if you guys can hear this because we're doing it anyway. We're going through with this grand old experiment, which basically the AOA podcast is one big fat experiment anyway from the get go. So please let me know. That sounds great. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for letting me know we sound good. Now, please, thoughts and opinions on the beige wall. If you notice towards the top there, it's a little stucco. We got a whole thing going on, and I'm loving it. Okay. Lots to talk about on this show. Diddy in jail for Thanksgiving. Bail, still don't know, but we have an update on what he's going to be eating. And you're going to be pissed off. I'm just telling you. Harry and Meghan, have they split? Lots of things going on there. Thanksgiving in general, it's going to be a rainy one. That's kind of sad. I'm in Florida, as I said, and of course, I recently had a Starbucks meltdown. If you haven't seen that video footage, it's in the members only area. Please look at it if you can. My friends, this is a podcast. Sorry. I find myself doing the Trump dance now. I don't know why. I want to stop, but I don't know. There's just something. Damn, there's something about that dance that's kind of funky that I do kind of enjoy. Wish I was better, but I'm not. Um, Frankie C assured me that he'll be along here on Wednesday. Not sure if Jay Sabs is joining the program, but stay tuned. This is all a big fat experiment. Like I said, we're going to see what happens. Let's go to Diddy. He's in prison still, detention center over there in Brooklyn, and everybody's curious, as we were during his birthday, on what he's going to be able to eat. And I'm a little ticked off when I look at the menu, what's going on, because we were able to get in touch with the fine folks over at the Brooklyn prison, and they told us that there is basically going to be a full spread for the inmates this Thanksgiving, which I'm a little upset about. And there's one thing in particular that I'm really ticked off about. I mean, really, really ticked off about that I think is brutally unfair. So, all right, let's go to the basics, okay? Turkey, as to be expected. Now, if that were me, I would go with tofurkey, just to piss off all the non-vegetarians. I know vegetarians like tofurkey, and that's cool and all that, but for people who love meat, you give us a tofurkey, and that's going to send us over the edge. I mean, at least that is for me. So, but they do have a tofu option on the menu, and they're getting a roast turkey. Now, I don't know if that's like an actual turkey, turkey breast. We weren't able to clarify that. But I think it should be gas station cold cut turkey. That's what I think inmates should deserve. Now, I know what you're going to say, and innocent until proven guilty. Yes. However, with Diddy, I'm thinking, what a big piece of shit. Let's give him gas station cold cut turkey, right? I mean, that's where my head is at. I think that should be it. Do I think he deserves turkey on Thanksgiving? Yes. Do I think that it should come from the 7-Eleven down the street? That looks a little suspect. That's a little too shiny. You know when it gets really shiny, that fake meat, cold cut meat, and it's a little glossy and you can see like purple and green in it? That's how you know it's done and ready for prison Thanksgiving dinner. Now, they are getting a full array of sides. All the fixings. I don't think they deserve this. What should prisoners be getting? Green bean casserole. Green bean casserole. And with all honesty, it should be made by a middle school class that is just starting to get into home ec. That's my opinion on that. You should have teenagers in home ec figuring out if they could pull off a green bean casserole, and whatever they come up with, burnt, not burnt, undercooked, raw, ship it on over to the prison. That's where my head is at. No, they're getting a full array of sides. Mashed potatoes, stuffing, you name it. They're getting everything. Fly NY, what's up? I am in Florida right now, coming to you live from my parents' backyard. During the day, there's a beautiful. When I was originally planning this area, there's a beautiful palm tree right behind me. I was like, "Oh, I'll do the show here. It'll be nice. It'll be a beautiful palm tree." Totally forgetting that we do the show in the evenings and it's fucking pitch black and you can't see anything. But do me a favor. If you see a serial killer, somebody in like one of those white, like a scream mask, pop up behind me, let's flag me down with a little warning, a thumbs up, or like, let's make it this. Let's get a little knife emoji in the chat. So if somebody sneaks up on me, then I know, if I'm about to be murdered or not, because it feels like I'm about to be murdered. Actually, the lighting in here is pretty spectacular. And these are like, I don't know, like Home Depot. I don't know what's going on back here, but we're live from Mar-a-Lago. This is the AOA podcast South. It's fantastic. Everything is wonderful. The lighting is tremendous. It's not just yellow lighting from Home Depot. It's some of the best lighting we've ever seen for a backyard podcast. I will tell you that. And I walked into this backyard studio. I said, "What?" Sorry, Sorry. Just were we testing it out, Miss Justice? How was my reaction time to that? Just making sure it's okay. Mercury says, "Be careful. Florida has a lot of crazies. I'm visiting 2 of them right now. If you know what I'm saying. Parents are getting nuts. The parents are getting crazy." I also don't know how sensitive this microphone is. So it is wireless, though. I thought to myself, I like a wireless mic so that I could do the show and like maybe like walk around and I could have the camera track me. And then I didn't think far enough to not have wireless headphones. So I got halfway there, kind of fucked it up. Story of my life. Um, Cuddles is like, using the wireless mic. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to move around. Never thought, idiot. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, okay. So Diddy in the Brooklyn Detention Center, Metropolitan Detention Center, they're getting all the fixings. Here it is. Mashed potatoes, as I said, mixed veggies, which I hope that's the driest, shittiest, most microwaved, frozen bag of veggies we've ever seen. That's my hope. I don't know. Cranberry sauce, which here's the shitty part. I'm a big fan of the canned cranberry sauce. You would think if they're saving money, they're going canned cranberry. I think that they should spend the money in the cranberry sauce, get the fancy shit that nobody really likes. Don't give them the jelly shit in the can. That's the really good stuff. So that's just, again, some of my advice. They get 2 dinner rolls with margarine and okay, 2 dinner rolls with margarine. That's a bit much. I'd like them to get an old diner roll. You know, when you go to the diner late at night and they bring out the bread and then you pick it up and it's like hard, it's almost crusting and falling apart. That's what they should be getting, not fresh rolls. Here's the part that pissed me off the most, and you tell me if this is a bit much. Prisoners in jail. Again, I get it. Innocent until proven guilty. However, Diddy, piece of shit. They're getting an assortment of pies. Okay. An assortment of pies. Does anybody else feel like people awaiting, people accused of some pretty horrific crimes shouldn't get to choose from an assortment of pies? I think one pie is a bit much. Now we're giving them an assortment. Are they to choose between pumpkin and pecan pie on Thanksgiving? That's far too much of a celebration for Diddy. That's ridiculous. He shouldn't get, I wouldn't even give him a McDonald's apple pie. He doesn't even deserve that, let alone a fresh, beautifully baked homemade apple pie. And not only do they get a pie, they have an assortment of pies to choose from. This is bullshit. I don't care for it. And we need prison reform. This needs to stop. Now, I don't have a ton of hope for the new administration. And let's be honest and fair. I've never had any real hope for any administration coming in. But my hope is that we cut out the assortment of pies for Thanksgiving in the prisons. Am I a cold-hearted bastard? Let me know in the comments below. Because I feel like they shouldn't be getting such nice shit in prison. Now, if you've already been convicted of a crime, then I'm right on this, right? No pie for you. Thank you very much, Robin. Appreciate the sentiment there. That's how it should be. No pie for you. Move along, motherfucker. No pie for you. However, if you're awaiting trial, you could make an argument there. I would still like to restrict their pies. You know what I'm saying? I'd still like to have a no pie Thanksgiving situation. I want them to have the driest gas station turkey, dry rolls, just under buttered mashed potatoes. The thing about Thanksgiving dinner is it could go really wrong really fast. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want. That's why I want to get the middle schoolers or the high schoolers who are in home ec to cook the meals. Then you send them over to the jail. And by the way, not just cook the meals the day before Thanksgiving or heaven forbid even on Thanksgiving. Homeback should cook those meals the Friday before Thanksgiving, then set that shit aside for a couple days, then send it on over to the prison and let them nuke it up in the microwave, not an oven like normal people. Now that is a fucking Thanksgiving dinner that I can get behind in a fucking prison. That's the kind of shit that Diddy deserves. By the way, oh, this is good. See, TD Freelancer knows where it's at. All dollar store food items and pies. I would love that. I like this other one here from Miss Justice, special cream pies. That would be nice. That would be nice. We got a lot of pie Nazis in the group. I like that. Let's see. I feel like the inmates who have done the worst should not get these special treatment. Here's what I think we should do for the inmates who have done the absolute worst. They get the really dry pie crust. That's all. So you get a good pie, you crack off the crust, and then you just go, here's a piece of pie crust, you piece of shit, and then you give it to them, and then you have to eat it. You know what I'm saying? They have to have it. You ever have that end of the pie crust that's just so dry and it's like, did I just eat fucking sand, like clumped up sand together? I don't know what this is. That's what they should be getting. Pie crusts. And only pie crusts. I wouldn't even give them ramen noodles. I don't think they deserve ramen noodles. God, I hope the pies aren't warm. I hope the pies are kind of frozen. I hope the pies are like fucking Elsa's latest pointing victim, frozen as shit. There's gonna be a lot of Disney jokes. I'm in Florida. We're getting ready for Disney. It'll all come together. I'm weaving. I'm starting the weave in the Mar-a-Lago of podcast studios here in Florida. I thought to myself, can I weave in Florida? And I thought, wow, I'm weaving better than we've ever weaved before here in the podcast studio. It's amazing. Speaking of Diddy, did anybody see the clip of Diddy on Ellen from like years ago where Ellen had a bunch of like kids on the couch and she's like, oh, it's not the right day. There's no surprise. And then she's like, well, but actually, wait a second. There is a surprise. And then out comes Diddy. And then a bunch of fucking 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds have to go over and hug Diddy because I think he was throwing some kind of a party for them. Holy shit, did that clip not age well? Dear Lord, that clip aged like gas station sliced turkey cold cuts. That was just fucking awful. And now Ellen's moved out of the country apparently, and oh my god, people in the conspiracy theories are just going batshit crazy. They're like, she left to avoid prosecution. Ellen's guilty. All I'm telling you, man, and it's all unfounded. It's all hearsay and shit like that. But yeah, yeah. I would play it for you, except we've got some limitations. I've got some limitations in this studio. For Wednesday's show, I'm gonna try and go somewhere fun, like out in public, and just kind of see what happens. But I'll talk about that when we get to the Florida trip segment. Can't play the clip for you, but if you can, Google Diddy Ellen show. The clip has to come up quickly, and like Diddy comes out, and he's like all in his Diddy dancing, and then he's like hugging the kids, and the oh god, oh the whole fucking thing just looks just awful, just awful. Oh, it's the worst. Oh, Robin, I'm gonna get to my flight in a second, my friend. Oh, I'm gonna get to my flight in a second. Let's go over Harry and Meghan quickly here. There's actually not a lot to say other than, everybody's been tracking the former royal couple, and there's just all sorts of speculation out there that this is a professional separation that we're in for Harry and Meghan right now, because the two haven't been seen attending an event together over the last couple of months. I think they've been seen together, not public, like caught in public, but not making a public appearance. But as far as like public appearances go, over the last few months, both of them have been attending events completely solo. To me, that's trouble in paradise. That's where it all starts. And where does poor Prince Harry go once he gets rid of that spineless piece of shit wife of his, Meghan Markle? I'm not on her side. I think she's awful and horrible. And I'm going to be honest with you. I can't even remember why. Does anybody remember why I was mad at her? She did something that pissed me off. It seems like it was just kind of like me. It was small and maybe not so consequential, but I'm harping on it. I forget what it was, but I remember turning on her and feeling really good about it. So whatever it was, if anybody could remember, I feel like that book, The Giver. Did anybody ever read the book, The Giver? In The Giver, everybody in like this like weird futuristic society has their own job, and one person, remembers everything, and one person takes care of traditions, and one person like goes out and hunts. We need a memory for the show. We need a memory for the show. I feel like that's Ariana Grande and not Meghan Markle, but maybe if we find out that Meghan licked a donut, that'll definitely, as we all know, that's fucking, you're out once you start licking pastries in public and ruining them for other people. Um, it was the Deal or No Deal thing, right? Yeah, it was something. Wasn't it like she was like, "Oh, that was such hard work, and I didn't get an opportunity," or she was bitching and complaining about something. I forget what it was, Will. I think you're in the neighborhood, and I'll tell you what, Will. I'm going to nominate you for Secretary of Memory in the new administration. That's the role that I'm lining up for you. I hope you don't have any weird trafficking in your past, because that's going to be embarrassing for us. We'll look into the salad. Here's the thing: Secretary of Investigations is wide open. So if Megan stole a salad, we'll put JSABs on it. And if JSABs isn't available, we'll go to the new Secretary of Investigations. Whoever wants to do that, put your hand up. Put a hand up in the live chat. She is always complaining, Christelle. You're right. Yeah, she really is. But where does that leave our darling Prince Harry once he dumps her? Could he go back to the royal family at that point after all this shit that he put them through and they've put him through? And it's all for this woman who is just awful. I don't even know if she's still doing her podcast or whatever, but oh, does she stink? Cannot stand her. Don't like her. Not one bit. All right. Thanksgiving. It's gonna rain. How depressing. I got lucky last year. We went to the Thanksgiving Day parade, and it was such a wonderful experience. And now there's a chance that, well, a really good chance that we're going to have a full weather system moving through the New York City area. They'll still throw the parades up, they'll do the whole thing, but it is not the same. Everybody's like in ponchos and shit. It's just cold and wet. Early forecast shows visibility and wind not expected to hinder the festivities, which kick off at 8:30 a.m. But then, of course, we're looking at this rain system that could pop in and, potentially ruin some things. Maybe not. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Um, Everybody stay tuned. Obviously, we'll talk about Thanksgiving and more shit as we get into Wednesday's show. We're here in Florida. Wednesday's show, I'm going to try and do this from a more public space. For people who are not familiar, my parents live in the Villages. If you don't remember, go back a couple of episodes, because we played a clip of them having a parade in the Villages, and Their version of a parade here is when you drive 95 miles per hour in a golf cart at each other. And one woman hit another golf cart head on because, of course, and she flew out of the front of the golf cart. It was pretty amazing. It was a pretty amazing clip altogether. I got to say, I was taken back by the level of stupidity that we've reached in this area. Golf court warriors. Yeah. So they have these like town squares here where like everybody comes and gathers, and there's like a band that plays till like 9 p.m. and it's like a big party. So my thought was is maybe we would go out to like one of those areas and just like do the show and see what kind of shenaniganry happens behind us. Yeah, we might be able to catch some swingers in the wild, perhaps. Like I don't really know. That's the early idea. I don't know if it's going to happen, if we're going to be able to pull it off, if we're going to have the right internet access to be able to do a live show, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now for the Thanksgiving Eve show. It'll be kind of a fun thing. I know CTD is confused, as I'm sure a lot of people are. What city are you in? It's literally called The Villages. It's this weird amalgamation of somebody built a retirement community and then it just became massive. And so their idea was they would build like these little villages and altogether they would be called the villages. And it went from like a couple of hundred homes to like 98,000 people. So literally it's become its own city and it's just all retirees as far as the eye can see. It's nothing but AARP ads and fucking pensions, and every margarita is buy one get one free. Like I'm not joking. You could look this shit up. It's happy hour all the time. They have 4 bars. They have a town square. So picture one block, okay, with a stage and seating all around it. That's one block. And then surrounding that block is a few, it's just all stores and bars and restaurants and everything else. But on the one block where the stage is and the seats, behind every, thing of seats, bleacher seats, is a bar. They literally put 4 corners on the bar. They were like, should we put a bar near the stage? And then somebody raised their hand and went, what if we put one in each fucking corner? And nobody objected and thought that that was a bit much. Not one person. So now when you go to the villages, it's literally you could literally, if there's 2 people on the line, you could just walk to the end of the block and have no line to get a 2-for-1 margaritas. In New York, we're paying $18 for a margarita. Here you can get 2 for like 7.50. So everybody's drunk all the time. Nobody has work because it's a retirement community. They're all driving golf carts, which they think they can drive drunk, but that is actually still illegal in the United States of America. Yet they try it all the time, and then they're fucking swinging and doing all sorts of crazy, wild shit. So I thought, let's go in the middle of that on Thanksgiving Eve and do a podcast and see what happens. So that's the plan. That'll be Wednesday's show if we could pull it off. There's a lot of obstacles there. I'm going to try and go and test it out and see what happens. So we'll either do this crazy, weird live show. And again, I could just be standing there and a bunch of people could be walking behind me, ignoring the whole fucking thing. And it could be a dud. I don't know. Or it could be pretty crazy. We could maybe, catch a swinger in the wild, or a drunk retiree. That would be amazing. But if that doesn't happen, we'll be right back here with, of course, I just can't seem to get, there it is, with the greatest beige pillar that has ever been background for a podcast that we have ever seen. Dude, freak off. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you, Mercury. When the story of the Diddy freak offs made it to the villages, they said, besides the underage shit, that's basically what happens every fucking day here. And I go, every day? And they go, well, only the days that end in Y, because they make corny retiree jokes here for the most part. I still laughed at it. I thought it was good. Yeah, it is freak offs without the underage thing. I want to say without the drugs too, but I'm not confident in that statement. Not confident at all. Very bizarre. Um, so that's going to be Wednesday's plan. It'd be great if we had a game with Aaron C and Frankie C. I believe they'll be here. Um, See, Krista. No, 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 Krista. No, this will be. We are in Trump country here in the villages. Big time Trump country. In fact, when people, if we go out on Wednesday and they go, "Oh, what show is this?" I'm going to be like, "Oh, Charlie Kirk. I'm Charlie Kirk's assistant. Nice to meet you." Because I don't want to get the shit kicked out of me. What if they look up something and see that I like to make fun of the way Trump talks? Then they'll beat the piss out of me. These old people got some. Do you know what drunk strength is? Like you can really land. I mean, and a lot of these people are war veterans too. God bless their hearts. Thanks for your service. But they'll knock my fucking teeth into the back of my throat. And they got 47 margaritas in them and some young punk talking about, well, maybe Trump shouldn't be doing that. Pow, and that'll be the end of it. It'll be a whole cop thing. So, yeah, no. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to enlighten people. There is a contingency of Democrats in this area, but for the most part, I believe we're in Trump country. I'll at least say it this way. I'm not gonna try and find out. I'm not looking for. I'm not looking to confirm or deny that. But like I said, if you tune into Wednesday's show and you hear me go, no, I'm Charlie Kirk, just ignore it. Just that's between us. Let's not make a big deal out of it. So I flew in yesterday because the plan actually was to be in studio for this show, and then our flight got canned on Tuesday, which was really bad because the plan was to come down, visit the parents, do the Thanksgiving with them, and then next week we'll be going over to Disney because I saved up a bunch of money and I can't hold on to it, so I have to get rid of that right away. And Disney's doing a great job at emptying my pockets. So we go to Disney next week. This week we'll be here with the family and doing the whole thing. We'll keep it together with the show and everything, and we'll go from there. But anyway, flights around Thanksgiving are super tough. So like Cuddles and I literally bought tickets for our flight in like fucking February or March. And we did the stupidest thing ever because we read on a blog somewhere that it's cheaper to fly if you go to the airport and buy your tickets. So that's what we did. We went to our local airport and we bought tickets and we had our flight set and everything for like 9 months. And then literally like a week or two ago, they were like, "Oh, that flight's canceled." So we were like, "Fuck." So we had to scramble, and then all we could get was a flight out Sunday morning because flying around Thanksgiving time is suicidal. It's just crazy. But we managed to get here okay, and we I don't know about you guys, but I fly first class all the way. Frontier. I don't know if you heard of that budget airline or Southwest. So we had a Frontier flight, which is really great because when you're eating potato chips and crumbs gather, they sweep up those crumbs and that's what they serve to you during the in-flight experience. They don't give you an actual bag of potato chips. It's just a bunch of crumbs from, I believe, homeless people, and they gather that all up and they just spread it around the cabin when it's time for a flight. If you want a glass of water on a Frontier airline, you're paying for it. Okay. I don't know if you've ever flown Frontier before, but you literally have to get out and push for the first 20 feet on the runway and then hop back into your seat just so the plane will take off. They really like to save on all their expenses, but they canceled the flight on us and we had to switch over to Southwest Airlines, which is just a small step above Frontier. And what's crazy about these budget airlines is like they're really dependent on time. So it's not like old school days with American Airlines and Delta where they flew and there's routes and everything. No, like all these airlines, they fly from one place to the other and they do it like 4 or 6 times in a day just to make the most out of that route that they possibly can. So the plane, we're at the airport Sunday morning and the plane lands and people who are coming from Florida to New York are getting off the plane. And I literally thought I saw the pilot like shoving them out of the way. And we get on the plane. And of course, it's one of these where you have to like check in 24 hours in advance and then you get a spot. You don't get a seat. So when you get on the plane, it's literally like Piggy with a head on a fucking stick. Like it's like Survivor. Like you're just fucking throwing elbows at old ladies to get the good seat that you want. So we do all that, and as you're getting on the plane, they're like, "Please sit the fuck down because we want to get out of here. We're 5 minutes late coming in. We're gonna try and make it up in the air. Like we gotta go. We gotta go." Like they're just like towards the end, there was like 4 or 5 people just like looking for that last seat, and they were like, "Get the fuck in!" They're like fucking scream. It's like, they're like, "We're only gonna take off later if you don't get in a seat." Like the same, they weren't screaming, but they were like, This is only your fault." Like talking to us like we were children. So we get in. And something happened on this flight that I've never seen before, and I hope to never see again. When you taxi out to the runway, and then, if you've flown, it's all the same. They get out, they turn onto the end of the runway, right? And then there's kind of like that moment where they check in with the tower, make sure there's the all clear, and then they rev the engines, and then they take off. That's pretty typical for a flight. For the first time in my 42 years existence on this planet, I I felt and witnessed and saw the pilot for this particular plane accelerate before he made that last turn onto the runway. We literally whipped around that last turn like we were getting off a highway and there wasn't an embankment, right? Like we were literally like, "Ugh." He accelerated around a turn. I didn't even know planes could do that. I can't tell you for certain, but I think we went up. I think one of the fucking wheels just went up a little bit as he was taking this turn, and then he continued to accelerate and we took off, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy is not fucking around." And then we went straight up. I mean, I didn't even know a plane could go at that, but we were pretty much at a 90-degree angle, just going straight the hell up, and I thought we actually might not make this. I literally had that thought of like, because here's the other thing. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Usually something goes wrong for your old pal Ann, right? For the most part, very lucky, appreciative of life, got a great thing going, beautiful children, they're healthy, beautiful wife. Just I like scored way over my head with my wife, right? I mean, you all know Cuddles, pretty not shocking to hear this. And so we get up in the morning and everything like we had all Saturday, like everything was like packed and ready. There was no scramble. We arranged a car. Car was there on time. We got out. We actually left the house like a minute or two early. We got to the airport with plenty of time. We made it through security with no issues, like no issues whatsoever. They had one of my favorite peach iced teas in the little, snack area. So I got a good, I was a delicious peach iced tea. And I turned like we made it through security. Everything was fine. No, no issues. No wanding. No nothing. No, let's tickle the bottom of your balls. Make sure you don't have anything. None of that. We went through everything. Beautiful peach tea. I turned to Cuddles and I go, "What's going? Not one thing went wrong here. This is great." And everything was just going our way. So when that guy took that turn and took off straight up at 90 degrees, I thought, "Oh, here it is. This is where he just misjudges something, and then all of a sudden, like again, like usually you turn, hey, we okay, Tower? No, he was just like, oh, by the way, Tower, we good? As he was just fucking at 200 miles an hour already. So I thought maybe we would die. I thought this is probably not going to end well, but we made it okay. We made it here. So I lost $5 to Cuddles. I go, you want to make a bet? We're dead. And she's like, please stop talking that way. I'm already nervous enough. And I go, I'll bet you $5 we never see, our families ever again. So I had to give her $5 on top of the whole thing. And yeah, that was our trip down to Florida. On top of which, if I can bitch and complain about Disney World for a second, because like I said, had a little scratch in my pocket. Disney, Bob Iger made sure to take care of that son of a bitch. Janine can speak to this, and hopefully she'll join us on Wednesday. But it's just been a misery of just one shitty thing after the next. We're just trying to like figure everything out. So our goal was to take our daughter to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, right? So for those of you who don't know, it's this wonderful cash grab that the Disney Corporation came up with. They thought to themselves, how can we pull more money out of these stupid asshole parents' pocket? And they're like, I know every little girl wants to be a princess. Why don't we have a little area where we can dress them up like a princess, do their hair, their makeup, their outfit, and send them off on their way. And I wasn't in the meetings, but I can imagine people were like, "Well, what's the difference between a regular, salon and like a princess salon?" And somebody stood up and went, "I don't know. We'll put sparkles in their hair. Is that good enough?" And somebody went, slammed the table, and said, "Done. Let's get fucking lunch. Let's get out of here." And that's basically it. So, much like a strip joint, there's just going to be glitter. It's just normal stuff. Put a little glitter in the hair. $150 later. Thanks a lot, asshole. I say $150. It's. I think we're paying $100 just for the appointment, and then there's upgrades. It's like, well, they have to buy a dress. And I'm like, I saw a dress on Walmart's website. Could we bring that? No, no, you have to have the authentic, princess dress. Okay. So now we plan this whole trip, right? Because I got taken to Disney when I was a kid. Great memories with the family. My wife and I went for our honeymoon exactly, actually, 10 years ago. We're actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary. Um, we got married in August, and then in December of that year that we were married, we went to Turks and Caicos right after the wedding. We were very lucky, and then we did like a second half honeymoon in Disney World because we wanted to see Disney for the holidays. We had never seen that, so we did that 10 years ago, almost to the day. So we thought we got to take the kids. Pandemic hits, all this stuff. We wound up pushing this trip back for 4 years. So for 4 years, we've been planning this stupid trip with this goddamn bippity boppity boutique. So now we're getting into it, and the reservations are so hard to get on these fucking things. So you literally have to, like, we were up at like 6 o'clock in the morning because every day they release like 6 months from now's day, right? So for like 3 days in a row, because we went on the day that it was supposed to be released when we were there, because we're going to be there for a week. So we were kind of, so for 3 days in a row, we were going on and nothing. We couldn't get a fucking appointment. And then finally we got one at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, maybe you don't have kids. The whole idea of the Bippity Boppity Boutique is to go and get dressed, and then you're the princess for the park for that day, right? Like every kid is like, they think they're the center of the universe, right? So they don't really give a shit about the other three kids that are there that day. They just think it's happening to them and them only, right? So, um, so we get the 4 o'clock appointment. So now it's like, well, that's not good because the park closes at 6, because then they have like a Christmas party later on. So it's like, she's only going to get 2 hours. We're paying out the ass for this thing. This is crazy. Go to find out there's a service that you pay. Notice the keyword. I'm going to use the P word a lot during this segment. There's a service that you pay, and it will literally scan the reservations. And as one becomes available, it'll shoot you a text message and say, "Hey, this is open now." All right, great. So we went up going from 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and then we went up going from 11 o'clock to 8:30 in the morning. So now I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning after 3 days already, just dragging my ass through Disney to go and do this bippity boppity boutique. Got the parents coming; they're driving up from the villages, right, to join in and do the whole Princess Day because she's 7, he's 9. This is our last gasp at all of this stuff. But that's not enough because then they're like, well, we got to go eat. So then we try and get into Cinderella's castle. That's all another fucking thing. Now we can't get into Cinderella's castle. Where are we going to eat after the Bippity Boppity Boutique? Yeah, all right. So pay the service again. Let's see if we can get a reservation at Cinderella's castle. Fucking shit. Yesterday, I get a boop. Now, if you don't react within 2 seconds, it's gone. It is gone. Like, so not only has Disney found a way to take money right out of your wallet, but they've made it competitive so that you're pissed off now when you've actually saved money. When I would get a little, it's ready, go make a reservation. I'd go run and fucking, fucking angry and squeezing my phone. I gotta take the fucking right. And then you get there and you wouldn't get it, and you're like, son of a bitch. So we get the bippity boppity. Now we're trying to get the dinner in the castle or the lunch in the castle. We wind up getting an 11:15 lunch. Not really lunchtime, 11:15, a little early. Okay, fine. For four adults, because I got the parents now. For four adults, two kids, to eat lunch in Cinderella's castle. Take a guess in the chat right now what you think that would run you. Don't look it up. You can look it up at Disney.com. Let's play a game, fun game for everybody. Guess in the chat right now. Four adults, two children. Believe me when I tell you, we're not talking about a super. It ain't all filet mignon and fucking escargot. Like I'm talking about, like it's chicken breast over mashed potatoes and some other stupid bullshit. Take a guess what four adults and two children are to have an 11:15 a.m. lunch. Lunch, mind you, at Cinderella's castle. Oh, we've got some good guesses coming in here. We've got some good guesses coming in here. 459, 275. Dr. Dex says, Aunt, you're a great dad. Don't act like you're not loving every minute of it, your little girl. My daughter is almost 16 years old. Time goes by so fast. No shit. Dr. Dex, that's the greatest fuckery of life of all time. Is so much aggravating, bankrupting shit that goes on. You're just like, oh my God, I can't even take it anymore. What the fuck? But there is this bizarre, strange weirdness into it all just being so wonderful and great at the same time. Like I'm a 42-year-old male. I played hockey most of my life. I was considered, kind of not an asshole, but a tough, upstanding gentleman, manly, masculine, if you could believe that sort of a thing, for most of my life. And I'm sitting here going, we got that bippity boppity. Like I'm excited over the fucking bippity boppity boutique. And not only am I excited, but I'm excited to empty my goddamn wallet out. You know what I'm saying? By the way, bonus shows coming in January. We're going to 7 days a week. Lots more ads, everybody. So get ready for it. Just to make you all in favor of the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique now, but wait till you have to sit through 72 ads just to fucking hear 5 minutes of the show. Then you're not going to be thinking this is such a great idea. All right, let's go over the lunch. Here's the lunch menu. God damn it. You choose an appetizer, soup of the day. Sounds delicious. The castle salad. At least it's got goat cheese on it. That's nice. Slow braised beef with a carrot puree. That's a soup. They've got chilled jumbo shrimp. I bet you there's only one of those. Entrees are the roasted lamb chop. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. There is a grilled filet mignon. Now we know what I'll be ordering to make this feel like it's worth it. Crab topped catch of the day. Marinated grilled chicken over mashed potatoes. Pan roasted cauliflower. Could you fucking wait until wait until the vegetarians hear this? Wait until the vegetarians hear how. I'm sorry, but if you go there and you order the pan roasted cauliflower, you should get a fucking discount on it. You should go for free. You should be like, I don't have to pay. I'm a vegetarian. There's no way you're going to charge me that much for fucking pan roasted cauliflower. Then they got a chocolate cake and a raspberry meringue for dessert. Oh, and a cheesecake for dessert. That's your choice. $88 plus tax and gratuity for an adult. $52 for a child from 3 to 9. You know what it's like to pay $52? They're going to eat a Mickey waffle. All they're going to do is eat a Mickey waffle. And you're forking out $52 for a goddamn child. Flying Y says 700, 280, 350, 600, 245, 400, 420. Mountaintop with 550. Let's see. I believe Price is Right rules closest without going over. Sorry, TD Freelancer, but Mountaintops hit it first. Yeah, I think we came up to $1. Nice. That's good, Bert. The timing was everything on that one. You nailed it. Yeah, it's $585, I think is what it came with taxes, and by the time all the stuff is included in there. $585 for the six of us. to create a fucking memory of a lifetime. I want to be positive. I want to say we're going to have the pictures and the memories, but I feel like I also know myself. And 10 years from now, I'm going to look back at that and go, remember that? That's when we paid $585 for fucking. I remember that. That was the last meal we ate that week because that's all we could afford. Remember, after that meal, we went on a string of eating gas station cold cuts. Those little poor said just that's what we ate for the rest of the time in Disney because we went to the fucking bippity boppity boutique. I swear to God, I see a bluebird whistling around my head. I'm fucking knocking that thing straight out of the air and just stepping on it out of principle alone. Out of principle alone. Helena, I fucked up. I married for love. Don't do it. Anybody out there still getting married, don't do it. Don't marry for love. Marry for money. It'll be a lot easier when it comes time for the bippity boppity boutique portion of your relationship. Yeah, and it's so strange. Like you start the ideas. It's much like planning a wedding. When you plan a wedding, everybody says the same thing. I'm gonna do a little small. I'm not gonna do what everybody does. I'm gonna do a small thing. I'm only gonna invite the people that I like. I'm not going to invite people from work. Fuck those assholes. I'm not going to invite my cousins who I can't stand, right? And then what happens? The work people are sitting next to the cousin table that you hate, on top of the other people that fucking hate you, and you're flat out broke. It's all the food that you didn't want at the place you didn't want. Like it slips through your hands so quickly. There's just nothing you can do about it. But like Dr. Deck said before, there's a strange I don't know, wonderfulness to it all. There really is. Like she's so excited. She has no idea it's coming. She just knows there's a surprise for her. I think she might have seen something or they might have snooped for it. She has an idea of it. But that was basically the plan. And then my wife, see, I have a half sister. We have a great relationship. She doesn't bother me. I don't bother her. We check in. How's it going? You good? Yeah, good. All right, good. We're 14 years apart, so there's like she was like mature when I was like a baby, so she's always like handled things super well. So now that we're both adults, we kind of know like where we're at and not to fuck around with each other. My wife grew up with a big family, lots of siblings, so she really harps on fair. So um before we got into the cost of everything, she's like, well, if we do this for her, what are we going to do from him? And I go, I don't know, feed him, clothe him, give him shelter. Isn't that good enough? Like, do we got like, he's not getting a seat. He's not getting the fucking seat next to her at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. That's not happening. Because they do offer, it's not just for girls. I guess they started it with girls and then they realized, oh, people are going to get pissed and they're going to get sued, because they got to be like a certain degree of woke and fair in Disney. So they do like a Prince one now, but no kid, like he's not going to be into that kind of shit. So he loves animals. So we're going to Animal Kingdom. So now I got to find out that we've had to fork over another $225 so we can smell elephant shit up close and feed the elephants. Now, am I excited about feeding the elephants? More than a 42-year-old man should be. I'm kind of like, that's kind of a cool thing, though. I get to do that. And he'll fucking love it. Like, I think it'll be super cool for him. We'll take pictures. It'll be fun. But also, that's $225 I could have done so much more shit with. Even at a strip club where you're really throwing away money, you feel like there's better value with Ginger, the stripper, rather than Ginger the elephant, because I think that's the name of the elephant we're meeting. I go, my wife's like, yeah, it's 225. We get to feed Ginger the elephant. I go, last time I dropped 225 that quickly was with Ginger the stripper. So this will be an interesting turn of events. We've really, from 21 to 42, it's gone the whole, it's gone a 180. It's gone a 180. That's pretty good. That just came out. That wasn't planned material. That's you can look at my notes. I didn't write that ahead of time. That wasn't bad for on the spot. Anyway, but now it's like, well, we have so now overall, just between those, the lunch, the bippity boppity, and the thing, I'm already down $1,000. I'm already down $1,000 just these two experiences. And then, like a fucking asshole, because I'm too stupid and quick-witted, we're doing the elephant thing with him, right? But she's got to come with us. So the four of us are going. So I said to my wife, like only a real asshole could, I go, well, she's doing the elephant thing too. So that's kind of not fair. She's doing two and he's only doing one. And she's like, oh, you're right. We got to look for something else. And I'm like, what a fucking asshole. Like, I just wanted to destroy her dreams of fairness that I didn't think it's only going to cost me more money. Shut the fuck up, stupid. So needless to say, we didn't book anything else. That's basically the end of it. But I'm telling you, it's fucking crazy. So we were going for like 5 days, and then they started hitting me with this lightning lane stuff. And even JSABs is on. She's talking about it. Like, you got to do lightning lane. You got to. Lightning lane is where you pay like $20. Sometimes you pay 17. Sometimes you pay like 24. So for argument's sake, $20, and you get to go to the front of the line. For a family of four, that's $80. There's more than one shit in the park, every one of the parks. So you're talking about another $400 just so you can make sure to get on all the crazy new rides that everybody wants to go on. I'm like, it never fucking, and like I said before, they said it's $17. Like, it's such a cheap little shit price. You think, what's the big deal? $70, but it never fucking ends. It's like the principle of it all. It's like it was over 3K, I think, for the tickets alone, just for a family of four to go for 5 days. Like, it's crazy. So what we wound up doing was, believe it or not, it was less expensive to do a sixth day than to do five and buy lightning lanes. Because even in 5 days, you literally might not see every like thing that there is. And as I told my wife, we are never doing this again. Um, so I go, it was like an extra $80 or $110 for the four of us to get a sixth day. I'm like, we'll go the sixth day. I'm like, we'll spread all the shit out, and then we won't feel so bad about waiting 45 minutes on a line to go on a 3-minute ride. It really won't make that much of a difference. So that's our plan, to try and avoid the lightning lane situation. Neil says, Anne, I'm surprised Disney doesn't have a strip club. They did. Everybody was getting all confused with Bambi. When Bambi took the stage, they were like, what? And then people trying to ride the Bambi ride, they wound up, so the whole thing, they got rid of it. But it could have worked if people were a bit more patient. And you're not doing Star Wars for the boys. Yeah, so while the Bippity Boppity Boutique is going on, that's in Magic Kingdom. So we're gonna go do Pirates of the Caribbean. That's gonna be the boy activity. While Grandma and Cuddles are doing the whole thing. Oh, because that's the other thing. Here's the beautiful part. I go to my wife, I go, what do we do? Just all sit around while she goes into this transformation? She goes, oh no, you can't have more than two people. I go, let me see if I got this right. I'm paying like 250 for for basically what she does every day. If you come to my house every day after school, my daughter comes home, she puts on way too much makeup, she puts way too much shit in her hair, and she wears the exact same princess dress that I'm pretty sure I'm going to pay 4 times the amount for. And she puts on a princess dress and she walks around the house all day. It's literally what she does all day long, every day. Like, now I have to pay 250 just for that experience, and I can't even be in the room where it happens. Like our good buddy Alexander Hamilton sang about, oh, some 200 and some odd years ago. And she goes, yeah, no, only two people. How do I tell Grandma that she can't go in the fucking room? And also, by the way, do I really want to stand there the whole time when I could sneak off and go do Pirates? So that's going to be the plan. So we'll go do Pirates. But going back to your Star Wars thing, this is the other thing. So then they used to let you go into the park, like you could, hey, the park closes at 9, but you're staying in the hotel, so you could stay till 10 or 11. They used to do that. They're only doing that once in the week that we're here. Now they're doing, well, the park opens at 7:30. You can come in at 7 if you want. So fuck, now I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning all week and wait. So I said to Cuddles, I go, well, let's not do a lightning lane for the Star Wars, like what everybody's saying. I go, We'll just get there early in the morning. So go on the blogs, check TikTok, go on Instagram, go on YouTube, see some of the YouTube Disney people because there's tons of people just I don't know what they do for a living. They just make videos in Disney World. I think that's what they do. Shout out Tim Tracker, that guy's a legend. Um, we'll go early in the morning. We'll be the first ones on. You go look at any like Disney blog, they all go, "Oh, the Star Wars ride doesn't work first thing in the morning." Motherfucker. I go, "How could that be? The ride runs all day long. Mysteriously, every morning the ride has a problem." But what is the ride my back? Like I wake up and my back doesn't start working till 15 minutes later. How does this? That's basically so they've. I don't. They're just fucking with you. These Disney people. They're just fucking with you. It's just fucking crazy. Wait, did Neil say something really funny and I missed it? Oh, Tinkerbell's glory hole to peek in at the. That is fucking funny. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I was just thinking about all the money I could have spent, but that is really funny. You could probably pay $40 to watch her on. Yeah, can you imagine? Do you want to give us an extra 39? And the numbers are so arbitrary. It's like, do you want to give us $27 if we could put you on a Zoom call with your daughter while she gets made up in the Bippity Boppity boutique room? The whole thing is fucking crazy, man. The whole thing is just batshit crazy. I am looking forward to the cheeseburger spring rolls, though. I'd be lying if I wasn't. Like, that's the thing that's going to comfort me throughout this whole thing. I'm going to be 500 pounds by the time I get back from the stupid trip. Cuddle's been joking that she's going to be the only one to walk 40,000 steps in a day and still gain weight. Because, and I get it, like, that's the only creature. Like, you look at, they have these cheeseburger spring rolls. Everybody says they're the greatest things ever. So I'm like, I want to get some fucking cheeseburger spring rolls. They got a hot pocket filled with just macaroni and cheese. Looking into that. They've got a pretzel bread pudding that looks pretty highly caloric. So I'm interested to see that. They got blue milk and green milk in the Star Wars land. I guess that means something in the Star Wars ecosystem. So you got to try both of those, which is great because I'm looking forward to see the taste and also to see what my shit looks like after I've ingested blue milk. That'll be lovely for the next morning. Sorry, the Death Star is down because of Dew. Yeah, it's amazing. If Darth ran his crew the way Star Wars does, they wouldn't have gotten anything fucking accomplished. Well, I think they wound up losing in the end, though, didn't they? I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't know who the fuck any of these Star Wars people are. I have no clue what's going on. All I know is I've been practicing on how to tell my son he can't build his own lightsaber because I'm not carrying that bullshit on a fucking plane. So basically, if you're curious, the members only area would be the place that photo of me on a plane where the lightsaber is going to appear. The one that Cuddles winds up eventually taking because I can't indeed say no to my children. So that's the justification of it all. And plus, I'm traveling. I haven't shit right in 24 hours. I don't know what it is. My bowels don't agree with travel. Everything just kind of seizes up, feels very uncomfortable. Luke drank the blue milk in one of the latest movies. Luke Skywalker. And it didn't go well. Is he still alive? I thought he died in one of them. Didn't he get his hand cut off? Or is that the other guy? Rhonda says have to eat everything. Yeah, Rhonda. I appreciate it. Don't need the encouragement, but I appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be every time I fork over like $90 for a piece of corn the size of a Q-tip. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna buy something else just to drown my sorrows in calories. That's the plan. Drown my sorrows in calories. That actually sounds like a good name for a band in Brooklyn. I feel like Paul McCartney. I don't know if I've taken a sip of water in 58 minutes. This is amazing. I'm so appreciative to have the podcast, though. I got to be honest with you. It's so great just to get together and talk because all this shit just builds up. Speaking of which, the Starbucks meltdown video, it's not an all-time video, but it's in the members only area if you want to see it. This woman sent me over the edge. Why isn't the fucking thing working now? I can't get the Florida trip thing off the screen. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, now that's going to flip back and forth. I don't know if we're dealing with internet issues or what. It's a miracle this thing has been on the whole time. Yeah, I had a little meltdown in the Starbucks line. Not proud of it, but felt like it needed to be said. Felt like it needed to be spoken to the people. And put the full video up on our members only area, because the members, you guys, you need the goods. You need the goods before everybody. I was gonna see if I can get my dad on the podcast, but he just waved me off like, "Fuck you, I'm going to bed." Um, my father's like, "You gotta hear my father before." He's like, "You're gonna, I don't understand. You're doing a show in my backyard." I go, "Yeah, yeah, it'll be fine." He goes, I don't know what you, I mean, he's, I don't know where I went wrong with you, but clearly I fucked up somewhere." I go, "Tell me about it." I wake up every morning, I call them and I apologize to them. That's just the least I could do. It's the least I could do for the parents. They deserve it. They deserve so much more. Um, but yeah, check out the Starbucks video, and become a member if you haven't. I saw somebody gifted a membership before. I'm so appreciative for that. Thank you, everybody. I am going to be updating the members only area with some photos from Disney. So if you want to see that shit, if you want to see the actual money fly out of my pocket, if that's of interest to you, if you find satisfaction in that, go ahead and become a member now. You could join for as little as $2.99, or you could join our highest tier for, I think, $19.99. In which case you will go towards paying for, a couple of pieces of glitter or two in Baby Cuddles' head. So that'll be nice. You might think to yourself, I'd like this 20, but I hear Ant's heartache, and let me throw a 20 his way for a month in the members area. Link in the description below if you want to become a member. That's totally appreciative. But anybody in that highest tier, we'll do something special for them. Maybe you'll get the first picture out from Bippity Boppity Boutique, so you can see how beautiful my daughter is and what a sad sack of shit her stupid father is. You need a credit union loan for this Disney trip. No shit. No shit. Oh, see, Mercury, this is why I love this podcast. This is why I love hanging with you guys. And you and I had a similar meltdown on the drive-through etiquette. Yeah, yeah, because I feel like we need to revamp our drive-through system in the modern era that we're in. It's 2024. This ain't 1987 anymore. We've got the technology in our pockets and in our cars. It hasn't made its way to the fucking drive-through yet, and I don't know how that's possible. It's time to update some shit, baby. It's time to update some shit. You know, those drive-throughs should be for app users only. You walk up to one of those drive-throughs with a fucking credit card, you deserve to be violently pulled out of your car by several masked men and thrown into a white van, taken away and never to be seen ever again. You know what I'm saying? That's what you deserve. So, anyway. All right, that is it for us. Nice solid hour and two. Love that for us. I don't know if I could actually do closing music. I don't think I can. So I will just politely wave. Thank you all for being here. Become a member. Help pay for that Disney trip if you can. Tune in. Don't feel bad about it if you can't swing it. I'm just making jokes. But really, if you are interested in some of the Disney content, I'm going to put some of that stuff up in the members only area. So make sure you join if you haven't joined already. Tune in Wednesday. Who knows what happens? Perhaps a drunken veteran retiree will beat the piss out of me in the middle of a bunch of other drunken retirees, which will be nice. And Frankie C will be here to laugh along with it, which will be wonderful. And hopefully we get J Sabs before we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you all, and I'll see